Hi and welcome to C++ tutorial of a tabular listbox display. Now I have some details here of individuals, so let's click on update data. There we go. So supposing we want to add more data in there, you can just go ahead and add that. Click on add more and come right in here. And let's say the name is Felix Stanmore. And Felix Stanmore is a full-time, let's say it's a part-time student and he's studying mathematics. What year is he? Maybe in third year. Just click on update. There we go. If you scroll right down, you should be able to see details of Felix Stanmore. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into C++ development environment, and we'll put one of these together using Visual C++. So let's exit out.
Confirm if you want to exit.
Yes, I do. There. I will start a new project entirely. Click on create new project and we'll select C++. Click on next. If you notice, I've just selected CLR-MT-project.NET framework. Click on next. And we'll give our project a name. I'm going to call it CPP ListBox. And click on create. Okay, let's click on the Solution Explorer. There we go. And here, click on the properties. You can see the icon for the property there. Click on that and that shows up. This dialog box shows up. Click on linker. But in the first place, make sure your platform is either 64-bit, but if you're using 32, just click on 32-bit. But in my case, I'm using 64-bit. Alright, so click on linker and in there let's select system. Inside the system, you see where we have subsystem. Click on that, drop it down. Let's select Windows, subsystem Windows, and then click on advanced. That's the advanced is in linker. Click on advanced, and in there you see where you have entering points. Let's change that to main. You can now come right in here. Click on the apply button and click on OK. There we go. Now all we're trying to do is just to create the form. To finish up with the form, you see the name of your project, right click on it and let's select add new item. Click on new item, and inside the new item we now want to select the CLR. Inside the CLR dialog, you see where we have Windows Form. Select Windows Form. See the default name in there is myform.h. I'm going to leave that as that. Click on add. Okay, so that is coming up. Now we will end up with an error, but that's no problem. Let's go back to the Solution Explorer. Before I go any further, you see the name of your project. Right click on it. I just want to add one more item, so come straight to the reference, and in there I want to add the speech, and the add reference dialog pops up. So right inside the search box in there, just type in speech, and there we go. That's the speech. Okay, make sure it's checked and click on OK. So we already have our speech sorted. Now for us to be able to get this form activated, you see where we have myform.cpp. double click on that. Inside myform.cpp we meant to enter a line, some lines of code in here that will activate the form. So let's go straight to the forum. Right in here inside the forum, I will include a link to this forum. That's the link right there. I will include that on my description area. So scroll right down. You can follow the instruction, though this one is an old forum, but the lines of code still works for the form. So I'm going to copy that. Copy. drop that down, and let's come right in here inside our myform.cpp. Paste the lines of code in there. There will be an error, and that's to do with the name. So I'm going to enter the name of my project, which is CPP ListBox. Once that is added, this error should disappear now, and that's all there is to that. I'm going to save that. If I run it now, my form should appear. And there we go, that's my form right there. But the problem is this form is not in the Solution Explorer here. So the only way out is for us to save and just exit out. As you can see, the form is not right there. So I'm going to exit out, and I'm now going to reopen the project. That is it right there. Now the project is now coming up. There we go. Once the project is fully loaded, we should be able to see the form on the Solution Explorer. So let's check out the Solution Explorer now. And there we go. Now it's ready. If I click on myform.cp.h, and that's it right there. So the next thing I'm going to do is go straight to the project. Right here, I'm going to change that to 1386 by 800. And right underneath here, I'm going to go straight to where we have start position and get that centered. Now let's come into window state. I'm going to change that to maximize. There. Now come straight to the toolbox. We need the following. Let's come right down there. We need this panel. Dump it right there, and this very panel I'm going to change the color to cadet blue. There we go. Just drag it across there and take it right down. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do again is I'm going to go back to my toolbox, grab hold of the panel, just drag the panel right there. This will be for the title. But I'm going to have to change the background color of this very panel to, let's go for control, the default color. So select that and come in here and just change that to control. The control is the default color. There. Alright, that is taken care of, but I'm going to need this, so I might as well just copy it. Hold on to the control, click and drag. We have one here. Yeah, that's good enough. And take it down. And we have another one underneath here. Okay, just drag this that much. Okay. Now, let's continue with the developments. I'm going to go back to the toolbox again. Let's get hold of the label. Paste one label in there and copy this label, paste it right there. I'm going to need a couple of those labels, but this very one, let's change some of his details. I'm going to change that to about 70 and make that bold. Change the text content to, I'm going to change that to, let's say, list box tabular display. List box tabular display, and just paste it right there. Now, one thing I'll do with that is I'm going to come in here for the label. You see where we have auto size, I'm going to change that to 4 there, so I can drag it and adjust it how I want. Let's take it all the way. Okay, let's get this centered and change the back color as well. So I'm going to come in here, change that back color to cadet blue. There, and the font, I'm going to change the font to something. Okay, let's go for maybe control, and let's get it centered. Align, get it centered. There we go. Alright, that's fine. Okay, now this label here, I'm going to change the font size of this very label to, let's come in here, maybe 20 something. Scroll right down. Okay, maybe 20, or let's set it for 24. There we go. Now change the details of that very label. I'm going to change that to student ID. Okay, that's fine. Now let's add a text box. Add one text box there and change that to as follows. And we need to change that to 24 as well. That is fine. Okay, so we can copy these across. We have 2 and we'll need one more here. Okay, let's move this back so we have enough room for it. Okay, now right below it we're going to need some more labels, or maybe we should just change the size of everything. Let's go back in there so that we can have enough room. I'm going to go back and just change the size. Let's go to fonts. I'm going to reduce that since I would not have enough room. Let's go for 20. Alright, that's fine. So let's select just the labels now. Hold on to the control, click and drag. So we have some right here. And now the next one is I'm going to add combo box. There we go. We have one here. And let's change that to 20 as well. There. Now copy. We have 2 and we have 3. That is fine. So now let's change the details we have in here. This will be known as year. And here we have course. Here that will be first name. And we have surname here. And finally, that's going to be full-time. Full-time, stroke, part-time. There. Okay, that's fine. Now here we need a list box. Come back in here. Let's grab hold of a list box and just draw right there. That's my list box right there. And let's change the name of this list box to list output. The font size, I'm going to change that to 20 as well. There we go. That's for my list box. And right underneath here, I'm going to come right here and let's add buttons. Okay, let's change the font of that. I think we can afford to change the font of that to something maybe 24 bold. And this very button, let's just increase the size that much. And let's change the back color as well. Okay, that blue. And the data or the name, let's change that to BTN update. and this will be known as update. Right, so let's copy it. We have 2, 3, and 4, and this one is going to be known as exit. So the name of that will be btn exit. That's the variable name. And here I'm going to call that btn reset. And let's change the name to reset. And right here I'm going to call this add, maybe add new. And this is going to be known as btn add new. There we go. This is reset though. Change this back to reset. There. Let's move this down a little bit. And let's increase the height of these buttons and bring them down. Alright. Okay, let's give all of the other components names. So this is going to be txt student ID. This is going to be txt first name. We have txt surname, and this is going to be cmb full part, and this is going to be cmb course, and here that's going to be cmb year. Right. Okay, every single component now have their respective names. Alright, let's run it and just see how this looks like. Then we'll take it from there. There we go. That's how the design of the interface is looking right now. Okay, I'm going to exit out, and let's double click on the form itself. I'm going to scroll right up there, and I want to grab hold of the speech library. So enter using namespace system column speech. There we go. And column synthesizer there. So that takes care of the name. We now need to go to the pragma. Scroll right down here. Pragma end region. So right here underneath the pragma end region, I'm going to declare the following. So that's going to be speech. So that's actually an object, speech. So let's call it SAPI, speech application programming interface. So let's get it referenced, and that will be equals new garbage, and that's going to be speech. Let's just copy this instead of typing, paste that in there, and enter semicolon. So I have just created my first object for which I'm going to be using for this page. The next thing is I'm going to now create a variable. So this variable will be used for the collection of the data that goes inside the the list box. So I'm going to call it input details, something like that. Input, or let's say student details. The details. Right, and the student details equals the following. So the very first one that will go in there, since we have 6 items, so enter curly braces. So the very first one, that will be 0, comma, let's say 10. I'm going to enter minus 10. So we start from the left. That will be the very first one. I'm going to copy this, enter a comma here. No, just paste that in here, copy this, enter a semicolon here, not a comma, and paste it for the second one, the third one, and paste. That's for the 6. So this one will be 1. So it's just in form of an array: 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In total, that is 6. And this one, I'm going to make that 15, minus 15. I will make this minus 15 as well. Number 4 will be minus 15, and number 3 is minus 15 as well. While number 1, I'm going to make that minus 13. I'm just defining the size of my columns. Okay, so number 1 and number 2, let's go for minus 13 as well. And there, that takes care of the layout for my list box. Now let's go back in here. So the combo box, with the combo box, I'm going to select the following. We can always add all of the information in here. Come straight to the item. You see where we have item, click on, that is it right there, the properties of the combo box. Click on that item, and the very first item that I will want in there is going to be something select year. We can add that here. So let's see how it's going to go. First of all, I'm going to say first year, or I can just type in first year. So if I come in here, the text in here, I can always enter select year. Alright, select here will be the default value in there, and we have the others. Okay, so that's for first year, second year, third, and we have fourth. So that's fine. Fourth year. Okay, so if I run it, this is how that's gonna look like. Let's see how that's gonna look like, then we take it from there for the others. There we go. Let's try it out now. Year 1, 2, 3. Okay, but the problem is the default is not there. Okay, let's come right in here. I'm going to copy this to be the default. Just in case if you need to change it. Alright, that's fine. Now the next one is going to be for the course. So let's select this and come right down here, repeat exactly the same thing. So we have the following course. Let's say select course. That will be the default. So the course can be, let's say, computing, and we have games, we have business, let's go for mathematics, and maybe English. Alright, that's fine. Click on OK, and the default value, of course, that would display in there. And in here, we now want mode of attendance. The default will be select type. Copy that and go straight into the item property in there, and let's enter the following. Let's go for full-time, part-time. Full-time, we have part-time, and we can also have sandwich. There we go. Click on that. Now run the program and let's see how that's going to look like. Okay, it's coming up now. There we go. Drop this down and this. Right, that's fine. Okay, you see, when the form load, I would like the columns to be displayed. So to do that, I'm going to double click on the form load, double click on the form itself, and inside the form, let's come right down here, list output dot items dot add. And what are we adding? So I'm going to say string column format, and what I would like you to add would be as follows. The details that we have in here, grab hold of this and just paste that in here, comma. The first one is going to be, maybe I should just type in student ID. We should have enough room for that. The next one is going to be first name, surname, course, year, and mode of attendance. So this will be first name. Then we have surname here, and here we have course, and here that's going to be year, and finally there we can just call that full-time or part-time. Let's put a P in time and enter semicolon here. There. So if I run it, this should appear as my title. So let's save that and run. That'll be the title for, or we have an error. Let's see what's the error about. Okay, right here there should be double bracket. Remember, I have one here, two, so close that up. There. Alright, minimize that. Try that again, and let's see how that's going to work. There we go. Look at that. Well, guess what? We need some rooms. Okay, close that. Okay, let's take care of this room. So I'm going to exit out. Let's go back into form load. Double click on form load. See where we have student ID. I'm going to get rid of the student. I only have ID in there. So let's run it. Run. Hopefully that should take care of it. Let's see, it's coming up now. There we go, guys. Alright, that is fine. That's much better. Come back here and just maybe reduce this a little bit more instead of extending. Okay then. Alright. Oh no. Okay guys, let's take care of the update here so that we can add whatever data we have in here straight onto the list box. Double click on update and press enter. Now the very first update I'm going to go for, let's grab this string, paste it right in there. So the very first one is going to be ID, student ID. So there, and the next one, that's going to be first name. And we have surname here. And here we have course. Underneath here, that's going to be the year. And finally, that'll be full time. Or full parts or full time, whatever. Okay, now let's call it full part. Alright, now that that is taken care of, we now want to add every single detail straight into my list box. So copy this and paste it right underneath here and get rid of this. Get rid of this as well. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to change it to full part anyway, because it doesn't exist. Copy that and paste it right in here. There. So that is that taken care of. Now the next thing is going to be for add more. Now come right in here and scroll right down. Double click on add new. Inside the add new, let's say txt id. So we just want it to clear anyway, equals clear. So repeat the same thing for the others. txt first name, clear. txt surname, clear. Then cmb, that will be course. We want it to default back to the value. The text equals select course. There we go. And we'll repeat the same thing for the other two combo box. The next one is cmb up here, there, and that'll be select here. And finally we have cmb full part, paste, and that will be select Alright, that is that all taken care of. We now also want to take care of the reset, so I'm going to copy this and let's double click on the reset itself. Where is reset? Come right down, paste, and I would also like to clear whatever data I have inside the list box. Do that again, list. So that will be dot items dot clear. So that clears whatever we have inside the list box. But the problem is everything, the headings will disappear. So I'm going to copy this heading and paste it right underneath here. And there we go. And guess what? To be on the safe side, I think it's advisable you use, let's say you use try catch if there's any error. So you can always come right down here and just say cache exception. And your exception, let's say exception EX, come right down here and you just want to enter let's say message box dot show. That should be uppercase, dot show. No, this is right. And in here you can just enter message in there. There we go. And guess what? You can decide to give your project a title. So the title can be maybe ListBox display. That's one argument. You can also enter another argument, message box buttons. I think it's column, okay, comma, then you can enter message box icon. Well, let's say that is information. There we go. So all I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to copy all of these and dump it right in here, up here. So that is my try catch. So the whole idea of the try catch is to prevent whatever error that will mess up your program. So I'm going to copy this, repeat the same thing here underneath here, paste, and up here just enter try. There we go. So we have our own try catch here as well. Alright, that is fine. And finally we need to take care of, let's take care of the update as well. Add a try catch in there and try in here. So the whole idea is just for that to prevent whatever error you might run into. So look at the lines of code. That's the lines of code, and this is the error handler. Okay, I think it's actually very good. It's very helpful. Alright, so I'm now going to also use try catch for my exit. So I'm going to copy this, come right in here and open up the exit. Scroll right down, double click on exit, there, paste, and get rid of all of this here, delete. So with the exits, I'm going to say system column Windows, and that will be column forms, column dialog results, and what will be the name? I'm going to call it I exit there. And I will now make use of SAPI. I haven't used SAPI since, so I'm going to use SAPI now. SAPI will say as follows: So confirm if you want to exit. So this is how you guys enter your text to speech. Confirm. There, that's what people say. Confirm if you want to exit. Okay. Now we now need this here. I'm going to copy all of this and let's use it for I exit. I exit will be equals the following. Message box shows confirm if you want to exit. So grab hold of this. And just paste that in here. That is it. And right here, the only bit we need to change is this. I'm going to change that to yes or no. And the information, if you want, you can change that to question. So the right name is question actually. So let's go to the next line here so that you can see it. And underneath here, I'm now going to use if statement. If I exit equals dialog result as follows. Grab hold of all of this, paste it right here. Column yes. Then we want the system to exit. Application dot exit column exit. And that is that. So I've just taken care of the exit as well. There. Okay, all of these error handlers, instead of information, you can change them to error. Okay, all I'm just doing is just showing you that there's small methods that you can use. And I'm going to change this to exclamation. There we go. So I have a good look at my at the exit, and here that is the reset lines of codes, and here add new, and right up here we have update the list box, and finally we have this inside the form load. This is my object for SAPI, text to speech, and that's my global variable for the variables declared for the list box. I'm going to save that and let's run. So the decision time, let's add date is in there, and the name is Paul Omen. And year, let's say it's in third year. Course, computer, let's say games, and type is a full-time student. Update, and the update is not responding. Let's see why. That works. Okay, now let's go back in here to the update. Double click on the update. Okay. Alright, I think I've spotted the error. With the updates, the problem is all of these variables are not assigned. Okay, and it's meant to be assigned to this. Okay, what I meant by that is I'm going to copy this. Let's copy all of this here. And come right down here. Or we can even assign it straight in here, but let's do it in here. Paste. And this is going to be ID. ID equals as follows. Get rid of this. There. And get rid of all of this as well. Right. Now the next one is surname. There we go. Then we have the next one should be surname. That was, and here that is for the course. That's for year, and here full part. There, I've now assigned each, or I've now initialized each of the variable. You can also initialize it just like this anyway, something like this. Okay, it's the same thing. It is the same, it will work. Alright, so let's delete this or comment it out just to prove to you that it will work. Okay, run. Let's see now. Alright, enter details in there, and the name is Paul Omen. And here we have year, let's say third year, and he's studying games, and right here full time. Click on that. There we go. Look at that. It's now working. There we go, guys. There. And let's check out updates. So updates. No, add new. With the add new, you can add new data in there. And let's say that is Tony. Oh, let's try our reset. Yeah, that reset works. And let's say we have new individual in there, and here is Tony. Tony Montana. And just change this as follows. And there we go. Add new, and this happens to be let's say 9 whatever, and the name is Sally Southend, and there enter Sally Southend details, sandwich course, add. Let's say Paul Parker. There we go. And is computing students. There we go, guys. And that's how you create ListBox Tabular Display in C++. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the
Confirm if you want to exit.
I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it. And you all have a nice day now. And bye for now.